Welcome to BT Smart Academy podcast about how to be awesome at your job, the podcast where we uncover the secrets to excelling in your career. I'm your host, Yazan, and today we're joined by the incredible Ghazal. We're going to dive deep into strategies that will help you stand out and achieve greatness. So let's get started. Ghazal, what are you most excited about today?
Hi, Yazan. I'm super excited to be here. I think this is going to be a really fun and informative episode. I can't wait to hear all the tips and tricks on how to be awesome at our jobs. So, where do we start?
Great question. Let's start with the foundation, setting clear goals. Having clear, well-defined goals is crucial for success. It gives you direction and helps you stay focused. For example, if you're a salesperson, your goal might be to close a certain number of deals each month. If you're in marketing, it might be to increase website traffic by a certain percentage. What do you think, Ghazal? Have you ever set specific goals for yourself?
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely have. When I was working in public relations, I set a goal to secure at least 3 major media placements every quarter. It really helped me stay focused and motivated. But how do you make sure those goals are realistic and achievable?
That's a great point. Making goals realistic is key. One effective method is the SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. For instance, instead of saying, I want to be a better manager, a SMART goal would be, I will complete a leadership training course by the end of the year and implement at least 3 new management techniques in my team meetings. This way, you have a clear plan and a timeline to follow. What do you think about the SMART criteria, Ghazal?
I love the SMART criteria. It's so practical and helps you break down your goals into manageable steps. Speaking of goals, what about building a positive mindset? How important is that in being awesome at your job?
Absolutely essential. A positive mindset can make all the difference. It helps you stay motivated, handle challenges better, and maintain a good work environment. For example, if you face a setback, a positive mindset allows you to see it as a learning opportunity rather than a failure. One way to cultivate a positive mindset is through gratitude. Taking a few minutes each day to reflect on what you're grateful for can significantly boost your mood and productivity. Have you tried any techniques for maintaining a positive mindset, Ghazal?
Oh, definitely. I keep a gratitude journal and try to write down 3 things I'm thankful for each day. It really helps me stay focused on the good things. But what about when things get really tough? How do you stay positive then?
That's a great question. When things get tough, it's important to have a support system. Surround yourself with positive people who believe in you and can offer encouragement. Additionally, practicing self-care is crucial. Whether it's exercising, meditating, or just taking a break, make sure you take time for yourself. Another technique is to reframe negative thoughts. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, try, I can figure this out. It's all about shifting your perspective. What do you think, Ghazal? Have you ever had to reframe your thoughts to stay positive?
Absolutely. I remember a time when I was working on a big project and it felt like everything was going wrong. I had to take a step back, breathe, and remind myself that I had the skills and support to get through it. And you know what? It worked. I ended up completing the project successfully. So, what's next on our list of topics?
Next up, let's talk about mastering time management. Time is one of your most valuable resources, and managing it effectively can make a huge difference in your productivity. One technique that works well is the Eisenhower matrix. It helps you prioritize tasks based on their urgency and importance. For example, if you have a task that is both urgent and important, like a deadline for a report, you tackle it immediately. If it's important but not urgent, like planning a long-term project, you schedule it for later. What do you think about the Eisenhower matrix, Ghazal? Have you ever used it?
I haven't used the Eisenhower matrix, but it sounds really helpful. I usually just make a to-do list and try to knock things off as I go, but I can see how the matrix would be a more structured approach. What about for people who struggle with procrastination? How can they manage their time better?
Procrastination can be a real challenge. One effective strategy is to break tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks. This makes them less daunting and easier to start. Another technique is the Pomodoro technique, where you work in focused 25-minute intervals with 5-minute breaks. This can help you maintain concentration and avoid burnout. Additionally, setting specific deadlines for each task can provide a sense of urgency. What do you think, Gazal? Have you ever tried the Pomodoro technique?
I have, and it really works. I find that the breaks are essential for keeping my energy up. But what about those times when you just can't seem to get started? Any tips for overcoming that initial resistance?
Absolutely. One tip is to create a routine or ritual that signals the start of your work. For example, you might have a specific cup of coffee or a particular playlist that you listen to when you start working. This helps your brain transition into work mode. Another tip is to start with the easiest task on your list. Getting that first task done can give you a sense of accomplishment and momentum. What do you think, Gazal? Have you ever had a work ritual that helped you get started?
Definitely. I have a power playlist that I listen to when I need an extra boost of motivation. It really helps me get into the zone. So, what's next on our list? I'm curious about effective communication. How does that play a role in being awesome at your job?
Effective communication is absolutely crucial. It helps you build strong relationships, resolve conflicts, and ensure everyone is on the same page. One key aspect is active listening. This means really paying attention to what the other person is saying, asking clarifying questions, and providing feedback. For example, if a colleague is explaining a project to you, you might say, "So, what I'm hearing is that you need my input on the marketing strategy. Is that right?" This shows that you're engaged and understanding their perspective. What do you think, Gazal? Have you ever had a situation where active listening made a big difference?
Absolutely. I remember a time when a client was upset about a delay in our project. Instead of just defending our position, I listened to their concerns and acknowledged their frustration. This helped diffuse the situation and led to a more productive conversation. So, what about difficult conversations? How do you handle those?
Handling difficult conversations is a skill that can definitely be developed. One approach is to be direct and honest while also being empathetic. For example, if you need to give constructive feedback to a team member, you might start with something positive, then address the issue, and end with a supportive statement. I really appreciate your hard work on this project. I noticed that the report had a few errors, but I know you can fix them. Let's go over it together, and I'm confident you'll do great. This approach helps maintain a positive relationship while addressing the issue. What do you think, Gazal? Have you ever had to give difficult feedback?
I have, and it's never easy, but using that sandwich approach, positive, issue, positive, definitely helps. It makes the conversation less confrontational and more constructive. So, what's next? I'm curious about continuous learning. How does that fit into being awesome at your job?
Continuous learning is essential for growth and staying competitive in your field. It involves constantly seeking out new knowledge and skills. For example, you might take online courses, attend workshops, or read industry publications. One way to make continuous learning a habit is to set aside a specific time each week for learning. Maybe it's an hour every Friday afternoon to read articles or watch webinars. This helps you stay updated and brings new ideas to your work. What do you think, Gazal? Have you ever taken a course that really helped you in your career?
I have. I took a course on digital marketing and it completely changed the way I approach my work. I learned so many new techniques and strategies that I could immediately apply. So, what about building strong relationships? How does that contribute to being awesome at your job?
Building strong relationships is crucial for success. It helps you build a support network, collaborate effectively, and create a positive work environment. One way to build strong relationships is to be genuinely interested in others. Ask about their well-being, their hobbies, and their goals. For example, if you know a colleague is passionate about running, you might ask how their training is going. This shows that you care and helps build trust. What do you think, Gazal? Have you ever had a mentor who made a big difference in your career?
Absolutely. I had a mentor who was always there to offer advice and support. She really helped me navigate some challenging situations and grow professionally. So, what's next? I'm curious about adapting to change. How important is that in today's fast paced work environment?
Adapting to change is more important than ever. The ability to be flexible and open to new ideas is crucial. One way to build this skill is to embrace a growth mindset. This means seeing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. For example, if your company adopts a new software, instead of resisting, you might see it as a chance to learn a valuable new skill. Another technique is to stay informed about industry trends and changes. This helps you stay ahead of the curve. What do you think, Ghazal? Have you ever had to adapt to a significant change in your work?
I have. I remember when my company started using a new project management tool. At first, it was a bit overwhelming, but I saw it as an opportunity to improve my skills. After a few weeks, I was much more efficient and productive. So, what about taking initiative? How does that fit into being awesome at your job?
Taking initiative is a key trait of successful professionals. It means not waiting for others to tell you what to do, but taking action on your own. For example, if you see a problem in your team's workflow, you might propose a solution and take the lead in implementing it. This shows leadership and a proactive attitude. Another way to take initiative is to volunteer for new projects or tasks that align with your goals. What do you think, Gazelle? Have you ever taken the lead on a project?
I have. I once took the lead on a community outreach project, and it was a great experience. I learned so much about project management and collaboration. So, what about maintaining work-life balance? How important is that in being awesome at your job?
Maintaining work-life balance is crucial for long-term success and well-being. It helps you avoid burnout and stay motivated. One way to achieve balance is to set boundaries between work and personal life. For example, you might decide not to check work emails after a certain time in the evening. Another technique is to prioritize self-care. Make sure you have time for activities that recharge you, whether it's spending time with family, pursuing a hobby, or just relaxing. What do you think, Ghazal? How do you maintain your work-life balance?
I make sure to schedule time for myself, just like I would schedule a meeting. I also try to disconnect from work on the weekends. It really helps me feel refreshed and ready to tackle the week. Finally, what about celebrating successes? How important is that in being awesome at your job?
Celebrating successes is incredibly important. It helps you stay motivated and recognize your hard work. Whether it's a big project or a small win, take the time to celebrate. For example, if you meet a key milestone, you might treat yourself to a nice dinner or share the achievement with your team. Celebrating also sets a positive tone and encourages a culture of appreciation. What do you think, Ghazal? Have you ever celebrated a work success in a memorable way?
I have. After a big project, we had a team lunch and shared our favorite moments from the project. It was a great way to bond and reflect on our success. Well, Yazan, it's been an amazing episode. I've learned so much, and I can't wait to apply these tips to my own career. What final thoughts do you have for our listeners?
Thanks, Ghazal. I've had a great time discussing these strategies with you. To all our listeners, remember that being awesome at your job is a journey. It takes time, effort, and a willingness to learn and grow. Set clear goals, maintain a positive mindset, manage your time effectively, communicate well, keep learning, build strong relationships, adapt to change, take initiative, maintain work-life balance, and celebrate your successes. You've got this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on how to be awesome at your job.